Hi, welcome. My name is Angela Schmidt from Chef U, and I'm here to demonstrate to you how to utilize the fresh watercress that's coming in your box this week. I'm also going to utilize some Mountain View goat cheese that comes from Piedmont, Alabama. We've got farm fresh eggs and Vidalia bulbs. So what we're going to make today is a watercress and goat cheese quiche. So what I've started with here is I have a crust. Buy store-bought. I just took the store-bought roll-out style, put it in a 7-inch spring form. You can take the little 9-inch pies that are in the freezer section, do the same thing. I prefer to bake mine because I want it to kind of seal up. When you bake it, it kind of prevents any kind of leakage. So I go ahead and pre-bake mine. It's like 450 degrees for 15 to 20 minutes till it's just light and golden brown. All right, so to first off, what I took is I took 1 cup of milk and 1 cup of heavy cream in a saucepan and heated it up till it almost came to a boil, otherwise, or in other words, called scalding. And it just kind of sweetens the milk a little bit, gets it ready for our batter. So what I'm going to show you today is actually a quiche batter that's really light. I mean, you can eat half the quiche and it's not too rich. So what we have here is we've got our diced up Vidalia onions. I've got a little bit of hard cheese just to kind of give it a little bit of bite to the goat cheese. It's just whenever I'm working with goat cheese, I like to throw in some cheddar or some hard cheese like a Comte, Emmentaler, or Gruyere, just to kind of give it a little bite. So what we're going to start out with here in our blender, we're going to put 3 of our farm fresh eggs in there. We'll just put those in there. All right, 1, 2, and 3. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take my milk mixture, pour that in, and I've let this cool a little bit because if not, you could have a little explosion on your hand once you turn the blender on. So always never fill a blender more than halfway filled with a warm liquid because it could be disastrous. All right, so just to season this up, I'm going to add a little pinch of salt. Also like a little bit of nutmeg, just gives it a nice little flavor. It goes great with the watercress, which has got this really nice peppery flavor, so the sweetness just adds a little more depth to it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a few cranks of black pepper, just because I like it. All right, so we've got everything in here, and we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to put a towel on here so we don't come out for any reason. All right, there we go. And what we'll do is we're going to do a quick saute of our watercress with the Vidalia bulbs just to kind of wilt it a little bit, and then we'll kind of re-blend this so it froths up really nice and light. All right, so I've started here. I've heated my pan. One of the things when you're searing vegetables that you really want to do is get your pan really hot. As you can see, it's turning colors. It's really good and hot. All right, and you'll see once you get this nice little sear on here, we'll lift this up. It just really, that seared flavor, whenever you're doing vegetables, it's just kind of like a little bit of a smoky flavor. You can only get that if your pan's really, really hot. All right, so I've got nice kind of little bit of brown edges here. You can really smell them. The flavor's coming out. It's got kind of a roasted flavor to it. And what we're going to do is add our watercress. So our watercress comes from a limestone spring in Blount County. It's really baby. You don't even have to clean it all that well. I guess I could use some tongs. I'm just going to wilt it a little bit. You don't even have to clean the stems that much on these because the stems will cook and just become really tender. And just if you're curious about how to clean your watercress, what you can do is just take a bowl of cold water and just kind of plunge it in there, and it just kind of clearly gets the dirt and debris out of there. And you might find a couple roots or whatnot, but it's actually pretty clean. All right, so now I've got this wonderful aromatic filling that'll go into my quiche. I've got my batter already done. Starting to smell kind of good in here. All right, so let's just go ahead and layer our cake. So what we're going to start with is the bottom layer is going to be, well, let's recross this. A little spillage there. All right, so it's nice and light right now. You can still smell the watercress and the onion. I've already turned the heat off. That's how hot my pan was today. All right, so let's take our half of our batter, roughly half. I'm gonna throw it in, and you can see it's kind of light and frothy there. Really important for the great crust. And then I'm gonna take a little bit of our filling, and I'm gonna just kind of spread it around. Get it nice and spreaded. Nice. You see that? Make sure to get some of those onions. All right. And that's going to be the first layer with a little bit of cheese. And I'm going to go ahead and throw in a little bit of pepper too. Voila. All right, now we need some of our Mountain View goat cheese. Want about 1 cup, so I'm going to have to use a little bit more than just one of these containers. And what I'm going to do is just kind of crumble it around. It kind of comes out really nice, and just spread it out. I like a lot of goat cheese, so if you're wanting to be a little healthier, you know, a little will go a long ways. So we might actually not add a complete 1 cup, because that's a pretty good bit in our little quiche here. Now you can see one thing with the 7-inch springform pan is I'm going to get a little more height than I would if I'd used the pre-bought little pie crust that comes in the foil containers. So that's what I like, is a little height. All right, so we've got our second layer. We've seasoned it up. We've got our goat cheese and all of our yummy stuff. We'll add our second layer of eggs. Voila. And if you don't know, I really love some good farm fresh eggs. Their yolks are just so much richer. It's really such a difference. The whites aren't quite as runny. Really makes a great fried egg. All right, so now we just need to add the last remaining bits of our filling. Oh, look at that. Voila. Smells really good. All right, now with just a little more goat cheese and a little more of our hard cheese, and that's really it. I mean, really, this is a great lunch item. This is a brunch item. I mean, there's really so much you can do, and I think people are so amazed at little quiches. I mean, it's really so simple to make, as you can see. It's a great way to utilize the vegetables that come from Grow, Alabama, and it's just really flavorful and rich, and you could even do a nice little roasted red pepper sauce with it. This really is a lot of options. All right, so we've got our goat cheese in there. I ended up using about 5 ounces in this particular dish, so it's not too unhealthy, but we have lots of great vegetables to offset that. All right, and then you just bake this in the oven about 350 degrees for 15, well, actually probably more like 25 or 30 minutes, until you have a uniform jiggle in the center. It won't shake like cream. It'll shake more like a solid jello. And that's it. I hope you enjoy. Thank you.